All right, let's get straight into it. We're tackling the massive, dramatic conclusion of Macbeth, Act 5. This is absolutely key for your AQA GCSE revision, so let's break it all down.
So, we're kicking off with this quote from the doctor, and honestly, it just perfectly sets the stage for everything that's about to go down. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. I mean, that's basically the theme of the whole play, right? The Macbeths broke the natural order when they killed Duncan, and now, in Act 5, all those unnatural troubles are coming home to roost.
Okay, so we're at Dunsinane Castle. The enemy is literally at the gates. But Macbeth? He's acting like he's totally invincible. And you have to ask, why? Well, it's all because he's hanging on to the witches' prophecies for dear life, thinking they've made him untouchable. And this is just classic Shakespearean dramatic irony, isn't it? It's so good. We, the audience, we see the whole picture. We know Malcolm's army is right there, and we know Macduff is out for revenge. But Macbeth? He can only see what he wants to see. He thinks these prophecies are a safety net, but really, they're the trap. His blind faith in them is his fatal flaw, and it's what powers this whole final act. Definitely something to write about. Now, while Macbeth is all bravado on the battlements, his wife is having a complete breakdown. And what a contrast. Think back to this steely, determined woman in Act 1. Now, in this absolutely chilling sleepwalking scene, all that guilt she pushed aside has come roaring back and is literally eating her alive. Okay, this quote, out damned spot. Out, I say. You absolutely need to know this one for your exam, especially if you get a question on guilt. Her constant hand-washing. She's trying to scrub away a spot of blood that isn't even there. It's a brilliant way to show us that the stain isn't on her hands anymore. It's on her very soul, and it's never coming out. And then she follows it up with this incredible line. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. I mean, wow. Shakespeare's using hyperbole here, right? He's exaggerating to make a point. She's saying that nothing, not even the most expensive, fragrant perfumes in the entire world, could cover up the smell of her crime. It just goes to show that what she's done is so profoundly unnatural that nothing on earth can fix it. Her final words here are so haunting because they're an echo of what she said before, aren't they? Remember back when she was trying to calm Macbeth down, saying, "What's done is done"? Then it was a power move, like, get over it. But now it's just pure despair. It's the sound of someone completely broken, a total character reversal. Right. Let's head to the battlefields. This is where we see those prophecies, the things Macbeth has been clinging to, start to unravel and turn on him. And you see just how cleverly the witches tricked him with their double meanings. So, the first thing to notice is that Macbeth is now totally isolated. All the Scottish lords, Angus, Lennox, you name it, they've abandoned him. They see him for what he is, a tyrant. And they use this amazing metaphor to describe him, saying he's like a dwarfish thief wearing a giant's robe. It's a perfect image for your essays. It shows he's just not big enough, not legitimate enough to be king. He's a fraud, and everyone knows it. And then Malcolm comes up with this genius, but really simple military plan. He just tells every soldier to cut down a branch from a tree and carry it in front of them. It's just camouflage. But this single, clever order is what makes the first prophecy come true. See, it's not magic. It's just smart tactics that Macbeth was too arrogant to even consider. Can you just imagine being in the room when the messenger delivers this news? He says he was on watch, and he looked toward Burnham, and anon methought the wood began to move. For Macbeth, this is pure terror. The impossible is happening right before his eyes. His first unbeatable prophecy is crumbling, and he's starting to see how he's been played. In his reaction, it's the first time we see his confidence really, truly crack. He says, "I begin to be aweary of the sun." He's tired of living. That bravado is gone, and in its place is this dark, empty rage. He basically says if he's going down, he wants to take the whole world with him. So, as if his military situation wasn't bad enough, Macbeth is about to get some devastating personal news. And his reaction to it leads to one of the most famous and most depressing speeches in all of English literature. The news comes in a really blunt, short line. The Queen, my lord, is dead. And Macbeth's reaction is, well, it's shocking, really. There's no big emotional outburst, no sign of grief for the woman he called his dearest partner of greatness. All we get from him is this cold, hollow emptiness. It feels like he's too far gone to even feel sadness anymore. And this speech that follows is probably the most important passage for understanding where his head is at. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day. He's saying that life is just this slow, boring, meaningless crawl toward death. That repetition of tomorrow really drills home that sense of an endless, pointless grind. And he wraps it up with this devastating conclusion. Life, he says, is nothing more than a tale told by an idiot full of sound and fury signifying nothing. Think about that. Everything he's done, the murders, the tyranny, all of it has led him to this single belief, that life is pointless. It's a key theme for you to analyze. What happens when ambition goes unchecked? You get this, a completely empty, meaningless existence. So, Macbeth has nothing left to lose. His world is collapsing, his wife is dead, his philosophy is in ruins. But he still has one last thing to cling to, that final prophecy. He goes out fighting and easily kills young Seward. And this just pumps his arrogance right back up. He's laughing at swords, scorning weapons, because he still believes that no man of a woman born can possibly harm him. He thinks he's a god, basically. He is dangerously, fatally overconfident. And then comes the final twist. The moment everything changes, Macduff confronts him and drops the bombshell. Macduff was from his mother's womb untimely ripped. He wasn't born in the normal way. He was delivered by C-section. And with that one line, the witch's final trick is revealed and Macbeth's entire world just shatters. You can just feel the air go out of him. Accursed be that tongue that tells me so, he says, for it hath cowed my better part of man. That courage he had, it's gone. He knows, finally and for certain, that he's been conned by those juggling fiends. For a second, he doesn't even want to fight anymore. But Macduff pushes him into one final, desperate battle. So the fight happens, the tyrant falls, and the nightmare that has gripped Scotland is finally over. The natural order of things can finally be put back in place. Macduff returns, and it's this incredibly powerful and pretty gruesome image. He's carrying Macbeth's head. He holds it up and hails Malcolm as the new king. It's a very clear, very public symbol that the tyranny is over. And it brings the play full circle, doesn't it? It started with one traitor's head on display, and it ends with another. And then we get Malcolm's final speech, which lays out the plan to heal Scotland. And it's such a contrast to Macbeth's rule, right? Malcolm talks about rewarding his friends, bringing home people who were exiled, and serving justice. He calls Macbeth a dead butcher and his wife a fiend-like queen. It's the final verdict on their reign and a promise of a much brighter future for Scotland, finally returning to grace and order under a true king. And this is really the big question the play leaves us with. And it's perfect to think about for your essays. In the end, was Macbeth just a victim of fate, totally manipulated by the witches? Or was he, as Malcolm calls him, a dead butcher who was destroyed by his own choices, his own ambition? The truth is, there's no easy answer, and that's exactly what makes this play so brilliant.